Okay, my phone died, so if I have to re-record the first half of this, I'm going to be very irked. But I'm just recording a second half on this because I don't want to lose my train of thought. So yeah, it reminds me of a large sci-fi movie franchise that involves a cat. It's not Star Wars. And they did mention that, not in reference to this, but in reference to something else in the questions in the back. So you can tell that the authors are major sci-fi nerds and that that's influenced this book. And even if you're not a huge sci-fi nerd, you'll enjoy this. But if you are, just feeling those non-obvious influences, it's just so good. Okay, now to check my phone and see if I lost half of my footage and need to start over.
You mentioned some suspense and horror elements at some point, didn't you?
Yeah, one of the authors mentioned that he can't write anything without horror. Personally, I didn't really see it as that much horror. Now, okay, I will say, if you have problems with body horror, maybe don't read this. Blast!
What?
It lost my footage. Okay, so let me go back to the beginning of what I said. I hate my phone. No, actually, I love my phone, but I hate when it does this stuff. Okay, so this is a book review for Leviathan Wakes. I'm sorry I started in the middle, but you didn't really... It'll make sense. This is by James S.A. Corey, which is an author duo. This is book 1 in the Expanse series. All the things I forgot to say because I was too excited. I just finished this. It's really, really good. I give it 4 stars. This came out in 2011. It was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Novel in 2012. Locus Award for Best Science Fiction Novel in 2012, an Audie Award for Science Fiction in 2012, and a Goodreads Choice Award for Science Fiction in 2011. Okay, so big sci-fi novel. Oh wait, it does have my first half of my thing.
You're just having a day, aren't you? Do you want some more
Technology
cookie dough?
hates me today. I'm going to eat cookie dough. Hold on. Okay, anyway.
What kind of tea did you want?
I'll get there. Let me do this. I'm just going to delete that first almost 4 minutes because now I've started over. I hate technology today. I'm not having a good day. It says it's a space opera. It has, if you don't like any of these things, because I know a lot of people hate Dune, and it's nothing like any of the things I'm going to say that it has feels of. It's just like, I can see where the influence came from, or at least where I feel like it came from. There's a Dune reference, but it's one line. You won't lose anything if you didn't get it. So it has Dune feels in the just enough of politics to make it interesting, coming from a reader that's not huge into politics.
It just doesn't have the extremely slow build-up of Dune, right?
Right. We got a primary character that feels like a noir detective novel type thing. We've got overall world building feels kind of like Star Trek TNG, especially when you get into a plot point that I can't tell you about. The belt. So you've got this world where we start out Earth and then we colonize Mars and then we've gone out, and the belt is the asteroid belt, and there's a lot of those that they got spinning and they're colonized now and all of that. It's not hard sci-fi, but it's not totally squishy either. So the belt is kind of the world building on the belt reminds me of Neuromancer.
Yeah, like the weird colony of Rastafarians that were living in space.
They've got their own like slanguage kind of thing.
It honestly kind of reminds me of some of the world building in Gundam.
Yeah, Alex said just from me telling him about it and ranting about it for 2 days that it reminds him of Gundam and Cowboy Bebop.
Macross.
There is extremely vague polyrep. One of our other main characters, not the detective guy, has 8 parents, which is interesting, but it's interesting on its own, but it's also that like genetically they're all his parents, and also it seems like it works, their world works opposite of how ours does, because ours, the more kids you have, the more tax break you get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with theirs, it seems like the less kids you have, so like he has 8 parents, so each one of them has like an eighth of a kid. So they got enough of a tax break that they can have 22 acres of land in Montana, which is like a huge thing in this world.
Eugenics, I'm guessing? Like test tube babies, Brave New World kind of stuff?
Some kind of DNA mixing. They didn't go into it. I would be interested to read more about that. So we've got a prologue of this girl, and some stuff happens, and we don't know what's going on, but it's weird, and we want to know what happens. Then we start switching perspectives between this detective on one of the belt colonies. I guess I was gonna say planets. I'm like, it's not a planet.
Planetoid.
And then this guy that's on ice hauler, which is how they get water from Saturn's rings. And you see how it all comes together, and then stuff happens, and there's plot points, and it's so good. You just need to read it. I know it's a chunk. It's definitely a tome. It's over 5 pages, but it's really, really good, and it goes fast. And the library gave me a floppy copy.
Over 5 pages?
Over 500.
There you go.
Have I missed anything that I said the first go around?
Not that I know of. It's going to be an odd format that I think might put people off.
Yeah, they'll live. Nobody watches my videos hardly anyway. I get like, if I get 10 views on the video, I'm doing good. Let's see.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Froggy. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. It's just really, really good. And if you,
Daddy,
River, I'm filming. If you even remotely think this sounds interesting, or if you remotely like sci-fi, just read this. If you like Firefly, definitely read it, because the characters for the non-detect. Oh goodness, how do I say this without spoiling anything? The characters that you mostly hear about from the person who is not the detective remind me a lot of the character development and building on Firefly. Dude, Naomi even says the captain has a nice butt one time. And that if you don't watch Firefly, there's a thing that Mal, the captain in Firefly, is called Captain Tight Pants. What else? Okay, so if you have issues with body horror, probably don't read this, because you'll get about halfway through and be like, oh, this is really good, I can't read this. There's a trope that Emily Fox from Books with Emily Fox here on YouTube really likes, that I would love to tell you that if you like that trope, to pick this up, but it's a major spoiler because it's a big, huge, like, plot point about halfway through that exploded my brain, because last night I was reading this, and then that happened, and then it was time. I was at story time with Alex and River, but I usually sit and read while they do story time because sitting on the floor hurts my butt. And I hit that plot twist, and then we had to leave, and it was dark, so I couldn't read in the car, and yeah. It's just really good. I think this is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. And this is up to like almost 9 minutes now, so I'm going to try and stop rambling. But there's even a review on Goodreads that Felicia Day liked this. So, I mean, if you don't want to listen to me, this is just really good. Go read it. Like, I can't believe I waited so long to pick this up, and this was so hard to put down. There's supposed to be 9 books. The 8th one came out last year, and it was on the Goodreads nominees, which is why I finally picked this up. I don't think I missed anything that I originally said, but who knows. If you have any questions, comments, or opinions, let me know down below, because I'd love to discuss this more. Oh, look, there's my cat. Well, one of them. This is Phobos, if you haven't met him yet. And there he goes. I would love to discuss this more with you guys. It was so good, but I want the next book. Yes. And have you guys read this? Do you want to? You should definitely pick it up. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.